Mazda's push upmarket continues, and this is the ultimate expression of that strategy. It's the CX-90 SUV, and it's Mazda's most powerful and most expensive model ever. We're here at the Lang Lang Proving Ground for an early taste with this left-hand drive prototype. So let's take a closer look at the details. The CX-90 now sits atop the Mazda range, above the soon-to-be discontinued CX-9. A number of grades will be available, starting from around $75,000 plus on-road costs, whereas the car you see here is representative of the flagship Azami, which will be around $100,000 on-road. Two engines are available, both 3.3 litre turbocharged straight sixes, one diesel and one petrol. This prototype is fitted with the petrol, which produces 254 kilowatts and 500 newton meters, resulting in 0 to 100 k's an hour in 6.9 seconds. While this combination might not sound particularly fuel efficient, Mazda claims combined consumption is just 8.2 litres per 100k. It's attached to a new 8-speed automatic gearbox and rear-biased all-wheel drive system. One thing that pictures don't necessarily convey is just how big the CX-90 is. At 5.1 metres long and 2 metres wide, this is an enormous car, up there with the likes of the BMW X7 and Mercedes-Benz GLS. So let's see how these vast dimensions translate on the inside. So this is where the CX-90 really needs to impress and justify that $100,000 price tag in the cabin. And in general, it does a pretty good job. We've got some nice soft touch materials, this interesting caramel suede like Alcantara, some different surfaces. This steering wheel looks like it's straight out of a Bentley. We've got big digital instrument display and a large infotainment screen, though this infotainment does look a little bit low res. This test car also features the $5,000 SP package, only available on the flagship Azami. This includes the tan interior trim, two-tone steering wheel and suede dashboard, as well as turning the CX-90 into a six-seater thanks to the centre row captain's chairs. The CX-90 can be had as a 7 or, as this car is, a 6-seater with these captain's chairs that slide back and forth, they recline, they're heated and ventilated, we've got separate temperature controls, pair of USB-C ports and this centre console with plenty of storage space. And the thing is that some of the materials down here are a little bit cheap at this price point. Here in the third row, the CX-90 puts its size to good use. I'm a little bit short of footroom if I'm honest, but plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder room. Even as a 180 centimetre adult, I'm actually pretty comfortable back here. I've got USB-C ports either side, a couple of cup holders, and there's ISOFIX points on the passenger side, so presumably they'll be on this side for Australian cars. Again, here we have one of the advantages of the CX-90's size with a proper boot, even with all 3 rows in place. And if we drop them, piece of cake, that is a mammoth space. There's also a bit more storage under here, and we've got a proper 230 volt outlet and another 12 volt outlet here. Okay, so our time with the CX-90 is brief. We've got a few laps of the ride and handling course here at Lang Lang to get an initial first taste of what Mazda's new flagship is like. But thankfully this ride and handling course should provide everything we need to know. Feels like quite a big car, but the ride is in general pretty good. It's being a Mazda, they always tend to err on the firmer side of things to make sure we've got a decent dynamics, some decent handling. Again, it's clearly a big car, it's clearly a heavy car, but feels well controlled. Again, the ride is maybe slightly on the firmer side. Floats over bumps pretty well. We've got a couple of train tracks here. Reasonable control. We get a little bit of shimmy back through the steering. A little bit of sort of bump steer. It's not terrible. Certainly it's quite composed through these longer turns. Let's up the pace a little bit. Still remains flat. Still remains neutral. Seems pretty good so far. Steering is very direct. Quite a lot of weight to it, but not in a sort of laden sense. In terms of your day-to-day comfort, you'll feel the road beneath you, feel some lumps and bumps in the road, but it's in general pretty comfortable. Let's test out this engine, this 3.3 litre straight 6 turbo. Yeah, it's just certainly got some punch. Obviously, the most powerful Mazda ever headline is a little bit misleading because, yeah, okay, it's got the most power and torque of any Mazda, but it also weighs a hell of a lot too. If you compare it to a RX-7, which is next in line, it's a very different kettle of fish, but sounds pretty good. A little bit synthetic, but yeah, this thing hauls. This thing hauls. Gearbox feels very slick too. So this is Mazda's own automatic, and it's an automatic with a clutch type arrangement, similar to sort of AMG's MCT. It's not a dual clutch box, but sort of picked up that I'm driving in an enthusiastic manner. So it's holding gears longer, very slick in its shifts up and down the box, and they happen pretty much imperceptibly, which is quite impressive. Yeah, okay, dynamically, the only real thing I can pick up that's a problem is that when we're hitting some of these bumps mid-corner, we're just getting a bit of shimmy through the steering. And again, it's not a huge problem in what is essentially a family SUV. Not too many are going to be driven in an enthusiastic manner, but Mazda is also keen to point out that this is a driver-focused car, so you'd hope that those things would be resolved. So obviously this is a very brief and very limited taste of the CX-90. We'll have to wait for a proper drive on proper roads in a proper right-hand drive car for the full verdict, but it's at least given us a taste of Mazda's new flagship, its new hero product, and there's plenty to like. It feels like a Mazda. It feels like a slightly sporting family car. Dynamically it feels quite polished. This new engine is good. The new gearbox feels very good, underway at least. We'll see what it's like in stop-start traffic at a later date. So I guess now all that's left is to stay tuned for the full review.